Welcome back to Cherry's Diary, and this is your teacher Cherry. The pronunciation of S at the end of verbs sometimes causes problems for non-native speakers because it can be produced in three different ways. In today's video, we will know about the simple present tense verb endings, S and ES in its sounds. Before we go to the three sounds of the suffixes s or es attached to a simple form of verb, let's define what is a verb first. Verb simply defines as the words that name actions or state. Example, the words see, look, stare, smell, run, walk, and many more. Take note that verbs that end with s or es are in simple present tense. Now, what is a simple present tense? It is when an action that is happening right now or when it happens regularly. Simply speaking, simple present tense are words that or actions that happen continually, like every day. Examples: my mom cooks our breakfast every day, and Ms. Rose teaches English subject. In the simple present tense, verbs have an s or es ending. The s ending may sound like s or z, while the es may sound like is. Take note, if the simple form of the verb ends with the sounds of p, k, t, the s at the end of the simple form of the verb sounds s. However, if the simple form of the verb is after most other sounds, the s sounds z. Meanwhile, the es sounds is if the simple form of the verb ends with the sounds of s, sh, ch, x, and z. When the suffix s at the end of the simple form of the verb sounds like s, if the last sound or the last consonant sound of the word is voiceless, then the s pronounced as s. Here are the examples of the voiceless sounds. The sound of p, the sound of k, the sound of t, and the sound of f. It is called voiceless sounds because if you try to produce the four sounds, your vocal cords do not vibrate. Now let's have our first example of a word here. We have the word stop. The word stop ends with the sound of p. As you can hear it, stop. P is the last sound. So here is the last sound of the word stop. Let's try to put an s at the end. The s sounds like s. So you are going to read the word as stops. Again, stops. Next word, we have the word like. The last consonant sound that you can hear is the sound of k. Like. Put an s at the end to make it into a simple present tense. We're going to read the word as likes. Next word, sit. The last sound is the sound of t, t. Put an s at the end to make it into a simple present tense. We're going to read the word as sits. Let's move on to the next word, surf. Is the last sound. If we put an s at the end of the simple form of the verb to make it into a simple present tense, we're going to read the word as surfs. Again, surfs. Now let's move on. Jump. The last sound is p. This is the last sound. P. Jump. Let's put a suffix s at the end of the simple form of the verb. We're going to read the word as jumps. Again, it's jumps. Next word, cook. The last consonant sound that you can hear is the sound of k. K. Put an s at the end. It reads as cooks. Next word, right. The last sound that you can hear is the sound of t, and this is the sound of t. Right. Now let's make it into a simple present tense and make it by putting s at the end of the simple form. We're going to read the word as writes. Again, writes. Next word, laugh. The word laugh ends with the sound of f. Laugh. Take note, it's not the last letter that you can see, but the last sound that you can hear will determine the sound of the s at the end of the simple form of the verb. Laugh ends with the sound of f. Therefore, if we make it into a simple present tense by adding s at the end of the simple form of the verb, we're going to read the word as laughs. Now let's read again all the words. Stops, likes, sits, serves, jumps, cooks, writes, laughs. When the s at the end of the simple form of the verb sounds like z, if the last consonant of the word is voiced, then the s is pronounced as z. Here are the examples of the voiced sounds. The sound of b, the sound of d, the sound of g, the sound of l, the sound of m, the sound of n, the sound of r, the sound of v, the sound of y, and the sound of, or the vowel sounds rather. Now let's go to the first word. We have the word rub. The word rub ends with the consonant sound of b. B. Rub. Let's make it into a simple present tense by adding s at the end. We're going to read the word as rubs. Okay? So since the word ends with a b sound, the s at the end sounds like z. Rubs. So same rule to be followed in the next word. We have the word stand. Again, stand. The last sound is d. Let's put an s at the end of the simple form of the verb to make it into a simple present tense. We're going to read the word as stands. Again, stands. Next word. The word is beg. The last sound is g. G. Let's transform it into a simple present tense by adding suffix s. So we're going to read the word as begs. Again, it's begs. Next word. We have the word feel. The last sound is l. Feel. Put an s at the end of the simple form of the verb to make it into a simple present tense. The word reads as feels. Next word, the word is dream. Is the last sound. Is the last sound. So we're going to put an s at the end. So we're going to read the word as dreams. Again, it's dreams. Next word, the word is run. Is the last sound. Run. Transform it into a simple present tense by adding s at the end. We're going to read the word as runs. So the s now here sounds like z. Runs. Next word, roar. R is the last sound here. Let's make it into a simple present tense by adding s at the end. So we're going to read the word as roars. Next word, the word is drive. The last sound is v. So here is the sound of v at the end. Let's make it into a simple present tense by adding s at the end. We're going to read the word as drives. The s now sounds like the sound of z. Next word, pay. The last sound is long a, pay. So it is one of the example of the vowel sounds now. It's pay. Okay, so if you put s at the end, we're going to read the word as pays. Next word is the word see. The last sound of the word see is the vowel sound, which is long e, see. Let's put an s at the end to make it into a simple present tense. The word see sounds like sees, or reads like sees. Now let's read again all the words here. Rubs, stands, begs, feels, dreams, runs, roars, drives, pays, and sees. Finally, we are now in the is sound. Simple form verbs that end with s, sh, ch, x, and z. Take an es ending instead of s. The es ending sounds like is. Again, I want to emphasize to you that if you hear all of these sounds, and if you want the simple form of the verb, transform it into a simple form, you're gonna add es instead of s at the end of the simple form of the verb. Now let's try this word kiss here. The word kiss ends with the sound of s. So if the simple form of the verb ends with s, just like this one, you are going to add es at the end. So the es sounds like is. So you're going to read the word as kisses. Again, it's kisses. Next word, discuss. The last sound is s. So if the word ends with the sound of s, you're going to add es to make it into a simple present tense. Okay, so we're going to read the word as discusses. Again, discusses. Next word, wash. Wash. The last sound is sh. Now if you can hear that sound, you're going to add es to make it into a simple present tense. So you're going to read the word as washes. Again, washes. Next word is the word brush. We hear again the sound of sh at the end. Sh. So we're gonna add es to make it into a simple present tense. So we're gonna read the word as brushes. Again, brushes. Next word is the word teach. Ch is the last sound. Again, if you hear this sound, you're gonna add es at the end of the word, or at the end of the simple form of the verb. Let's add es to make it into a simple present tense. So you're gonna read the word as teaches. Again, teaches. Next word, catch. We hear again the sound of ch. So we're gonna add es at the end to make it into a simple present tense. So we're gonna read the word as catches. Again, it's catches. Next word, the word is fix. So we're gonna hear the sound of x at the end. So the sound of x is represented by the letter X in the English alphabet. So if you see this word, if you see the verb ends with X with the sound of X, so add ES to make it into a simple present tense, and we're going to read the word as fixes. Again, it's fixes. Next word, we have mix. Again, we hear the sound of X at the end of the word. So to make it into a simple present tense, we're going to add ES at the end. So we're going to read the word as mixes. Again, mixes. Next word, buzz. Buzz. The sound of Z is at the end of the simple form of verb buzz. Let's put es at the end, so you're gonna read the word as buzzes. Okay, so let's go to the last word. We have wolves. Wolves. So let's add es at the end to make it into a simple present tense. So we're gonna read the word as wolves. Now let's read all the words with is sound at the end. Kisses, discusses, washes, brushes, teaches, catches, fixes, mixes, buzzes. Lastly, waltzes. Let's read the simple present tense of verbs with emphasis on the last sound of S. S as S sound. Stops, jumps, likes, cooks, sits, writes, surfs, laughs. S as Z sound. Rubs, stands, begs, feels, dreams, runs, roars, drives, pays, sees. Es as is sound. Kisses, washes, teaches, fixes, buzzes, discusses, brushes, catches, mixes, and waltzes. Now let's do an exercise by identifying the sound of S at the end of the verb. Now let's go to the first word. Number 1 is fishes. Number 2, z, falls. Number 3 is quizzes. Number 4, stops. Let's go to number 5. Helps. Number 6. What do you think is the correct sound of S at the end? Jumps. How about in number 7? What do you think is the correct sound of ES? Of S at the end? Z. Goes. Number 8. Mistakes. Number 9. Z. Observes. Now let's go to number 10. Strikes. Number 11. Z. Dreams. Now let's go to number 12. Thinks. Number 13. Z. Observes. Number 14. Works. Number 15. Graphs. Number 16. Boils. Now let's try number 17. Is scratches. Number 18. Sleeps. Number 19 is flixes. Finally, number 20, z, dies. I hope that you learned something for today. Please do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for the update for the upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching.